Okay, before we get started, there's a few things we need to go over. The first is make sure you print your quick guide. It has a checklist of all the forms you need to file to get your papers done. The second is number one here on my list is get a container, get a case, a big envelope, a briefcase, something to keep your papers in. People who try to keep their papers in a rubber band or piled in their car usually will end up missing hearing notices, missing deadlines. It's not a good idea to do that. What am I talking about? I'm talking about there's a clipboard that I have. It's a clip case. The inside of it looks like this. You can even keep a tablet in here, or over here, and keep your papers all together so you don't lose them. This right here is a clipboard case. They sell these at Staples, at Office Depot, Walmart. They all have them, and they all open up, and you can keep all your papers together. You won't lose them. This is a bin I got at Walmart. It's $5. It's got a handle, a lid. Use something like this to keep all your papers together. Believe me, you won't be sorry later on. It'll really help. All right, so the next thing is make sure you review your judicial circuit page for documents that are unique to your location. A lot of locations, a lot of jurisdictions require you to file something called a standing orders or designation of jurisdiction. There are unique forms to each circuit, and I've provided the place to find those for you. Just take a look. This is the member start page. Remember the big red button, you can't miss it. Just go here to the judicial circuit page. It doesn't matter if you don't know which circuit you live in, it's all spread out. Just pick your county. So say you're in Charlotte County. All right, there it is. You know it's the 20th Circuit. Do the acknowledgments, the lawyer stuff. All right, 20th Circuit. What am I talking about? Well, the Judicial Circuit, there's the mediation office, if you need to know that. I've put that there for you. Standing orders. This is what I'm talking about. Self-help program, see here on the right? Standing order, Charlotte County Self-Help Program brochure, and then standing order. You need to file standing orders. There it is. With every case, and you would print these out and bring it to the clerk's office with your divorce package. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Back to the list. All right, so I'm going to walk you through completing your papers. Follow along. If you have any questions, if there's anything specific or you don't understand something, please email me. I'll do my very best to help you. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, when completing your papers, remember, in the very beginning, there's a questionnaire that has your name, the respondent's name, or if you're doing an answer, everybody's names, addresses, everything you need. You don't print after you're done with the questionnaire. There are two separate documents you need to fill out after that, called the UCCJEA and the financial affidavit. I will show you those. You don't need to worry about that now, but that's in the packet. Okay, so don't complete the questionnaire and print it out. Complete the questionnaire, follow along, do the UCCJEA and the financial affidavit. I'll do it with you. I'll show you exactly what you need. After you've completed your papers, don't print them out 3 times and then take them to a notary. The notary is going to charge you for notarizing 3 separate documents. Print them once. Go to the notary. Okay, have them notarized. Then copy them 3 times. Remember the rule of 3s. You give the original to the clerk. You keep a copy for yourself, and a 3rd copy goes to the opposition. Some clerk's offices want an extra copy. I usually do it 3 times, all right? But generally, most clerk's offices, you only need to have 3, okay? Go to your local clerk's office. The addresses are all there on the website for you. There are 67 counties and 20 judicial circuits, but it's all there for you. Go there to file your papers. You're going to find the address on the judicial circuit page. Somebody might tell you, hey, there's a way to electronic file. You can scan your documents and file. Right now, they're getting better, but right now it is not user-friendly. It's very difficult. You're going to make mistakes. Just take it to the clerk's office. Hand it to them. Hand them a check for the filing fee. Hand them a check for the service of process with the sheriff, and you're good to go. Okay, filing fee is in between $400 and $500. It's usually close to $400, $408, $415. There's no rhyme or reason, but it's generally that amount. You're also going to need $40 for the sheriff's department if you want them to serve your papers, but you also may need more if you use a private process server. Excuse me. If you want to use a private process server, you're going to need to hire that person yourself, or you can just give the check to the clerk, and they'll probably deliver the papers to the sheriff for you, and you're done. Okay? Follow along. Email me if you have any questions. Use the blog to get your questions answered. Good luck. Let's get to work. Okay, this is the walkthrough for the answer to petition for dissolution of marriage without children. My name is Jeff Ravkin for FloridaDocs.net. This is the format you'll use if you've been served with a divorce petition. Um, it's the answer, the response that you have to file within 20 days. Okay, everything you need is right here. Everything you need is on the website. I'm going to walk you through it right now. Be sure to download that quick guide. It has a checklist, it has everything you need. Also, the guide to a typical divorce in Florida, I wrote. It's very short, but it gives a very clear and succinct, quick, easy explanation as to the process, the divorce process. Okay, so let's take a look at the answer. This is the form app, and I've already filled it in. One of the things you need to have handy with you when you do your papers, you've been served something that looks like this. Okay, let's zoom it in just a little bit. You've been served a summons. Okay, somebody came to your door, knocked on your door, and said, "Are you Ramona Robertson?" And you said, "Well, yeah, okay, you're being served." And you were hit with papers. Okay, Ramona Robertson is the respondent here, and she's the one who has to file an answer. Robert Robertson filed the petition for dissolution of marriage. Ramona Robertson has to do that answer. Okay, so if you're Ramona, you got this thing handed to you, and now you need to file an answer, and that's where the quick guide and the format for the answer comes into play. Okay, so have this handy because the information you need is right here. You need to put the 20th Circuit, Charlotte County, the case number, petitioner, respondent, all of this stuff needs to be put in. Just keep this handy when you go ahead and fill out the form. So you've downloaded the form app, and remember, these form apps are not good for tablets or phones necessarily. You really need to do it on a computer using the free Adobe e-reader. Okay, and you need to print it. Download it and print it as soon as you're done because they won't save. And of course, these boxes will disappear. So you've looked at the summons and you start to fill these things in. All you have to do is type it in, and the instructions are right here. So you put the circuit in capital letters, which you see up here is the 20th, Charlotte County. All right, and you put the petitioner's name, that would be Robert. If you're Ramona, that's your husband. If it's a paternity case, it'll say father, whatever. Put the address in. Let's make that a capital P for Port Charlotte. These are all interlinked fields. If you don't know a field like the social security number, you can leave it blank. You don't always have to put that in. All right, things having to do with you. If you're Ramona, and I misspelled Ramona, if you're Ramona, everything that's unique to you, you need to put in, obviously, your date of birth, your social security number, your telephone number, and this information. Okay, once that's in, if you take a look, you'll see most of this is already done for you. Like I said, these are interlinking fields. Once you type it one place, all the boxes will populate. So you type it in here, it goes everywhere. All right, so as it pertains to an answer, you just have to give a response. And I've already typed in here that you agree as to the recitals and jurisdiction. And what the recitals are is I was married on this date and time, or we had a baby on this date and time. Jurisdiction in this county is proper. You're going to agree to those. You don't deny those. I mean, there's no reason to. You will deny anything having to do with issues of a marriage or children or finances, property. You could do that. The court approved form wants you to put down number one, number three, number five, and that can be very confusing because those paragraphs are not very well labeled. So as long as you've got an answer in and you say, I deny those things that a judge would consider for me, anything having to do with our finances and our property and our children, okay? If there's something there that you don't know what to do, you just type in here, I don't know how to answer number 4, whatever it is. If there's something you don't know how to answer, just type it in there, okay? Your obligation is just to file an answer, okay? Now, since this is a divorce without children, a child support guidelines worksheet is filed with this answer, will be filed. Don't check those boxes. You're not going to do it, okay? Because there's no reason for. Social security number will be, and a financial affidavit we're actually going to do right now. So you check this box, is filed with this answer. If you want to be lazy and not file it, you're going to have to file it later, and you're going to get in trouble probably for not filing it. Let's do it right now. Let's get it over with. And that you're going to mail and maybe email to your opposition, whenever you're going to print it and send it to him. Remember the rule of 3 is a copy for you, copy for him, and the original to the clerk. So rule of threes, 3 copies. Well, an original and 2 copies. That's 3 total. So put down the date. Say if today is April 4th, I don't know, 2020, and you're doing the papers today, you just put that date. You're going to mail it to him. You're going to email it to him. Okay, just put it there. All right. And if you've typed in his address one place, it's everywhere. If you typed in your Ramona and you've typed in your address, it's everywhere. Fax numbers here, that was part of the old form. I always put that in there. If you have a fax, go ahead and put it in. Otherwise, don't worry about it. The notary, you can get a notary to bank, will notarize it for you, or the clerk will do it for you. I think they'll do it for free, so you can bring it down there. The problem with going to the clerk's office is once they notarize it, you'd have to take it away from them and make your copies. You don't want to have to notarize 3 different copies. Get it notarized first, then make your copies. Okay? Anyway, so there's a notice of social security number. Okay, see, it's already all in here. You're filing a notice of dissolution, which parties have no children, so you check that box. Okay, and that's already all done for you. This is the financial affidavit. Okay, this is not hard to do. Don't let it frighten you. Sometimes people think, oh, I have to be really specific. There's certain things you do have to be specific about, but not everything. All right, it's more important that you put what it is, not so much how much it's worth or what the value is. Okay, let's say Ramona, I don't know, Ramona is a manager of something. Okay, she's employed by, I don't know, Subway. All right, manager at Subway. Let's say assistant manager. All right, business address. 123. Put the address here. Okay. Now, everything having to do with this financial affidavit needs to be on a monthly basis. I know they have these boxes for every week, every other week, twice a month, monthly, etc. Don't bother with those. It has to be monthly. So if you're getting paid every week, all right, you do the math. Figure out how much it is for every week. Figure out what your monthly amount is. Okay? So the monthly amount, let's say she's making $3,000 a month. Okay? And it's monthly here. There's the thing. All right. Something else as well. When you're filling out this form, round to the nearest dollar. The form itself, I had to code these, by the way. It does the math for you. Code doesn't like decimals. Sometimes it gets a little wonky when you have decimals in here. I got it to do very well with round numbers, and you're okay to round. In tax forms, they want you to do it. In this form, just go ahead and round to the nearest dollar. So if you've got $1.50 and above, it'd be $2, right? If you've got $1.49 and below, it'd be $1. Okay, so just round to the nearest dollar. All right, so let's say Ramona's making $3,000 a month. All right. Let's say she also, let's see, it goes down here. Let's say she also has a little bit of money coming from some sort of royalty or something, I don't know, whatever it is, and she's making an extra 500 bucks. Okay, see how it added it up for you? It's 3,500. That's her total income. Now, this, remember, is your gross income, not your net. In other words, this is before taxes is taken out. Okay, this isn't what goes in Ramona's pocket. This isn't what goes in your pocket. All right, it's what you're paid prior to taxes being taken out. We're going to handle taxes on the next line. All right, so I've put some instructions here. Number one, to tell you what to do, and also to tell a judge what you did if you didn't have a pay stub handy. Let's say you're Ramona, you're in a hurry, 20th day is looming on the horizon. All right, a good rule to follow, a good estimate for your estimated taxes is just use 15%. Okay, so we said her gross was 35. Okay, and so you take 15%, that'd be 525 bucks, and you put it in line 19. All right, estimated, and all over the place I've written some figures, maybe approximations. Okay, later on, if you need to provide a pay stub or do another one, you can always do another one. You can always amend it. Okay, so we'll put our 525 here, and watch how it's done the math. So 3,500 is the gross, taxes are taken out, the net is 2,975. Remember, if you're actually putting this information in, you've got your pay stub and you can do it. Do not use decimal places. The form doesn't like decimals. Okay? So now we go down here and you see I've written some figures, maybe approximations, some figures, maybe approximations. You can approximate, just ballpark it as close as you can. Certain things that you have to ballpark. Now your mortgage or rent, that's going to be the same every month, isn't it? So let's say it's $1,000. Okay, and if she's renting, she's not going to pay property taxes. Utilities, now that would vary. Every month your electric or whatever is going to be different. So you ballpark it. Let's say it's 80 bucks, okay? Or if electric or whatever, 120 bucks. Telephone, if that's the same every month, put the same, but you can ballpark it. Food, $300 for Ramona. Meals outside of home, she goes through a drive-through once in a while. Okay, these are not really hard to do. Okay, you just ballpark it, you make some estimates. Gas, how much a month, Ramona, do you spend in gas driving to and from work and wherever each month? Oh, at least 100 bucks, right? Now, repairs, here's what you do for repairs, okay? Since this is a monthly amount, you're not making repairs on your car every single month. Hopefully not, anyway. You'd have a really bad car. So for, let's say though, once a year you have to buy tires. Well, that's, I don't know, $1,000, and once a year you had to get brake pads. Okay, $200. So if each year you spend $1,200, okay, well, what do? You need to know the monthly amount, right? What's 1,200 divided by 12 months? It's 100 bucks. I'm going to show you that again over here. Let's take a look at gifts, okay? So gifts, what kind of gifts do you have each year? I'm looking over here. Okay, so let's say for gifts, you've got Christmas gifts, you've got birthday gifts, I don't know, wedding gifts, whatever it is. Let's say last year, Ramona spent $2,400 on gifts. $2,400. Well, but she spent that throughout the whole year, as it came up. So what do? Well, you divide that by 12. It's 12 months, so you put 200. Okay? That's how you get your monthly amount. Insurance, that's easy because insurance is billed by month. You put 90 bucks or whatever. Don't have anything for children expenses. Any of this you put in. Let's say Ramona's got a Bank of America credit card. Don't we all? And her monthly payment, I don't know, is $600. Okay? So you put these numbers in. Let's say she spends $100 on clothes. She spends a lot. She's a clothing shopper. Grooming, 50 bucks a month. Shampoo, entertainment. She goes to the movies once in a while. Whatever she has in here. Okay? And that's it. So 2840. Let's say she's got two credit cards. Let's say she's got Amazon. All right, and let's say she ran that thing up and they want at least $800 a month. Okay, you see how it does the math for you? All right, this is her total monthly expenses. Now let's take a look at the next page. All right, these lines are if you need to write a note to yourself. Okay, note amounts paid for credit cards vary. Whatever it is you want to write, you just write a note here. If you want to explain something, you can do it here. All right, but let's take a look. This is her income, her net now. These were her expenses, and look, see this little minus here? All right, I've had this thing coded. It's a little bit of JavaScript, but what it does is it calculates for you. All right, so she's $665 in the hole every month. It's okay to be in the hole every month. Your income does not need to meet your outgoing. Your incoming doesn't need to meet your outgoing. Now, if she was $5,000 in the hole every month, the judge would probably wonder how'd that happen, you know? But she's 600 bucks. How are you surviving, Ramona? Well, she could say, I'm not. I'm using credit cards. I'm borrowing from my parents, whatever. Okay? Let's say she didn't have this Amazon card. Okay? She didn't have the Amazon card. She'd be in the positive. 135 bucks. So her income is more than her outgoing. So she has $135 left over. If you have money left over, there's no little minus, you put it here, right? And then you're done with this part. But if you have a negative, let's put our Amazon back in here. That was 800 bucks, remember? She's in the hole 665. Well, if you're in the hole, you put the 665 here. You don't need to put a minus. These little parentheses tell the court that this is the negative. This is the deficit. See that? See where it says deficit? Okay. All right, so now you're done with this part. Assets and liabilities. Here's the rule for assets and liabilities. Remember, you can approximate your numbers, but you have to list all your assets. It's not so important. People go crazy with these, trying to figure out, oh, how much is in my IRA? What's the revolving interest? What's this? What's that? What's the other thing? They go crazy with these things. You don't have to know the exact number. You can approximate it. You just have to put it down. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you've got an IRA with, I don't know, Bank of America. Say you got an IRA with Bank of America. You put value unknown. Okay, so if you've got an approx, so you're going to approximate, let's say you've got $10,000 in it. By the way, don't put commas in either. No decimals, no commas. Okay? So you say you got 10,000, of course it'll add it up, it's down at the bottom. Okay? What if Ramona says, I don't know how much is in my IRA, so I'll do that later, I'm not going to list it. Well, then nobody knows she has an IRA, right? Is that a problem? Well, is she hiding her IRA? You don't want to hide something. So make sure you list what it is. You don't have to know how much it's worth. You have to list what it is. So cash on hand, you can check these boxes if you want, but if you put cash on hand, $200, so you put your 200 here. These bars are for you to write, these squares are for you to write notes, cash and bank or credit union. You can put credit union, union. I've left you enough room, okay? And if you type a lot, like you've got a whole lot to type, watch what happens. It'll scroll, okay? All right, you don't want to do that. Usually you could type what it is pretty easily. Don't do that crazy stuff. Stocks, bonds, notes. Say you've got AT&T stock. Val, unknown. And then you can put estimated. You can put it here. I don't know, it's a $5,000, whatever it is. Okay? Real estate, list your house, put the address right here. Other automobiles, if you got a car, list it here. If it's financed, write financed. Okay, if you could sell it and make some money, put it here. If you can't, don't put it here. Just say financed. Bank owns it. It won't get nothing if it's sold. I mean, seriously, that's all you have to do. All right, and see how it's added up. All right, let's get on to the next one. Remember, liabilities, it's the same rule. If you've got a mortgage, you put it here. Second mortgage here. Other mortgages, check the boxes. Put the amounts. Okay, whatever it is. Auto loan. So she got an auto loan. Okay, done. Auto loan. She owes $4,000 on her Toyota. Okay. As long as you list it, you're okay. Let's say it's an approximation. Just put approximate. Okay? Easy. This form does not do a good job, this is a court-approved form by the way, of explaining what a contingent asset and a contingent liability is. Okay? Contingent asset is something you might possibly get in the future. And what does that mean? Well, let's say Ramona fell in, I don't know, Walmart, and she sued Walmart, and her attorney says, you're going to get some money from your slip and fall lawsuit at Walmart. Okay, the possibility is $10,000, so you put the $10,000 here. Okay, remember, you have to list what it is, not how much, and it's an estimate. Okay, that's a contingent asset, something coming into you. Okay, we're going to take that out for now, and it'll do the math if you've got something else in here. Contingent liability is, well, let's say Ramona is being sued, sued for a car accident, owes $20,000. Okay, so you put that $20,000 here. Okay, easy peasy, done. Okay, now this is the form for people who do not have children between them. Okay, so child support guidelines worksheet is not going to be filed in the case, so check that box. Then you're done. Have it notarized and you're all set. Now if you look at the rest of this, everything else is done for you. You don't have to do anything with this form. Just print it. Okay, this is the non-military affidavit. Put the date in and print it. Have it notarized. Everything you need is already here. It's done. Done for you. Her email address here. You want a secondary, Ramona? Put your secondary in here. Okay, you're going to put the date in when you've served it. Okay, you're going to handwrite it because you're signing here. Any place that has your name with a line above it, you need to sign. Okay, so where else? Where would you need to sign here? You need to sign here. And for here, you need to have a notary, and you'd sign here. Okay, it's that simple. And your form's done. Everything else is taken care of for you. All right, follow the quick guide, get it filed with the clerk, get it served to the other side within your 20 days, and you'll be all set. Good luck.